We have a packed week of updates to cover today. Today we're going to look at how to prepare for your new ROG Ally. We'll take a look at a new clean looking shell for the Steam Deck. We'll review the A1 Pro campaign and how you can buy one now. We'll also cover an opportunity that came up to purchase the China exclusive Purple Evangelion Edition OneXPlayer 2 Pro. Today we'll also cover the AYN Loki Max reviews, as well as an update on the launch and shipping. We'll cover an update to the AYANEO 2 warranty that involved cracked shells, and we'll go over a way to purchase the Win 4 at its lowest price ever. Welcome back everyone to another OKestweekly recap where we cover all things handheld PC gaming. All news or no news, we'll cover them all. And don't forget, if you enjoy this video, do the OKS thing and boop that like button. And if you're enjoying the channel, subscribe below. Alright, let's jump into it. This week for ROG Ally, it seems like we're finally here. There's been people that have been receiving their device in the USA now, and many people that have already gotten their shipping notifications. But if you're in Canada like me, you might be getting it a couple days late, unfortunately. But regardless, it's coming this next week. So I don't really have news to cover for the Ally because there's so much out there, so much gameplay, so many videos that you can check out now. There's been videos of different accessories you could buy. There's been videos of SSD swaps. There's been a 1 month later review. Plenty of good stuff you can find. So today's Ally update is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go over some things you can pick up and get ready for the Ally. I'll show you where you can find some quick guides, and we'll take a look at a few accessories you can pick up so you can get ready to get the most out of your Ally. I'll be creating a number of tutorial videos as well when we get the Ally, so if you prefer video format tutorials, I'll definitely be putting those together. So stay tuned to the channel, maybe subscribe or ring the bell if you want to get notifications for that. So first up, let's take a look at some guides from ASUS. They have it on their website. I'll leave a link in the video description as well as the pinned comments, so you can see there's a number of different guides. There's 15 tips and shortcuts, how to boost your battery performance, how to boost your gaming performance, remapping buttons, taking screenshots, installing games to an SD card, as well as reinstalling a new SSD. So there's a number of guides. They're text-based. So if we check out the 15 tips here, you can see that it shows you how to update your Armory crate, how to navigate the Windows UI, install games, set up your fingerprint sensor, and a number of different things on how to program your buttons. If we take a look at extending your battery life, there's a few things here that go over some of the basics, making sure your system's up to date, picking silent mode, which is 9 watt, and making sure to set the right power profile for the right game. So it's pretty straightforward, but if you're looking for something to get you started, I would recommend checking it out. Aside from the guides, you probably want to get some accessories for your Ally, so if you haven't done that, I'll go ahead and show you a few options. We'll take a look at a couple screen protectors, a couple of cases, an SSD I would recommend, as well as a MicroSD. The ASUS Power Block dock is not available in Canada yet, so I'm going to show you an alternative that I use personally that matches the specs of the port perfectly, so you'll get full speeds for USB-C 3.2 Gen 2. So the screen protector that I ordered is from Dbrand. I would recommend using them just because their screen protectors are usually pretty nice. I've used them on my Steam Deck before. It comes in a 2-pack and they're for $25, and they should ship fairly quickly. Or if you want to save about $11, one option is the Glass Screen Pro from Sutku. It also comes in a 2-pack and is available on Amazon. For cases, of course, there's the case you can get from ASUS. You can get that at Best Buy. For us Canadians, it seems like the price is a little bit higher than it is in the US. But the good news is that there's a few options you can go with. So if you want a bit more of a premium case, you can get the Waterfield one. It's a leather case that comes in a couple colors. It's a little bit more expensive though. It comes in at $119. Or you can also go with some alternatives, which I probably will do. I'm going to use my SpyGen Rugged Armor Pro case for the Steam Deck. I can't verify if it fits perfectly for the Ally, but I can assume it will because it works great for all of my other large handhelds. I currently use it for my AOKZOE, my OneXPlayer 2, my Steam Deck, and my AYANEO 2. What I like about it is that it has a hard shell, and there's also storage for your power block underneath. You also get a zip-up pouch at the top, and there's a little pouch for, I would use it for like a microSD card. And the best news is that it's on sale right now. So if you want to pick one up, it's $30 USD and you could buy it on Amazon. If you're looking to do an SSD upgrade, a good option is the ones from Sabrent. They are also currently on sale. So if you want to get a 1 terabyte one, it's $109. It's 31% off. And if you're looking at the 2 terabyte option, it's 37% off and that's at $219. Both of those you can also buy on Amazon. And if you're a little nervous on the process, don't worry, I'll be doing a video on that one as well. For docking solutions, there's actually a USB-C hub that I use personally. I use this for all of my devices when I connect them at my desk, and I'll usually carry it over to the TV when I want a bit of a larger display. So the one that I'm using is the Anker 555 USB-C hub 8-in-1 with 100-watt power delivery. What's good about this one is that it uses USB-C 3.2 Gen 2, which matches perfectly with the Ally's USB-C port. What you get is an Ethernet port that's gigabit Ethernet. You have two USB-A ports that are USB 3.2 at 10 gigabytes per second. Then you get one USB-C 3.2, which is also 10 gigabytes per second. You get HDMI out, which is HDMI 2. And then you also get an SD and MicroSD card reader, which is UHS 1. Right now you can get it on Amazon USA for about $75, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. If you're able to in the US, I'm not sure if you can, but go to amazon.ca and see if you can get it shipped to you. It's much cheaper for some reason. Right now it's on sale in Canada with 35% off, and that's $65 Canadian, which works out to about $48.50 USD. So at least on the Canada site, it's a great deal right now. I paid much more than that, so I would jump on this if it's something that you're interested in. And the last accessory that I'm going to cover here is if you're looking to get a micro SD card, I would recommend getting a SanDisk Extreme. I think it'll suit your needs well. The slot on the Ally is capable of more, but honestly, this one is going to do the job, and it's coming in way cheaper than what you're going to pay for one of those UHS-2 cards. They're really hard to find as well. So right now they're also on sale. So if you get them from Amazon, you can get the 1 terabyte for $118, it's 61% off. The one thing I would recommend you watch out for is make sure you buy it from the SanDisk store on Amazon. Every now and then a scam will pop up where it looks like the SanDisk, but it's actually not. The other thing to watch out for is to make sure that you get the one with the right speed. There's one that shows up for 160 megabits per second, and there's another one for 190. The difference is like $8, so make sure you get the faster of the two. Usually the slower one is from a reseller, plus you're also going to get old stock. So that's all I'm going to cover for accessories today. If you ordered an Ally, I hope you're enjoying your device, and you might already have it by the time you're watching this video. And if you're in Canada, best of luck. Let's hope Canada Post pulls through. Alright, so let's move on over to the Steam Deck. This week for the Steam Deck, I just have a couple of things to go over. It's going to be a bit of a shorter update. I could take you through a mod that a TikToker did for his Steam Deck where he added liquid cooling, but I'm not going to go through that one today. I'm going to leave a link though if you're curious. Sometimes these ridiculous mods are just entertaining to see. But one mod that isn't ridiculous that I came across is actually another shell for the Steam Deck. This one's from Extreme Rate, and it looks super clean. You can change all the buttons to white and have a really clean looking device. It's not available yet, but I'll leave a link in the video description and you could pre-order it if you're interested. I probably will. But aside from that, all I have is the software updates. There's just a couple to go over today for the beta client. The first update was on June 6th, and just like the last one, this seems to be a focus on gyro controls, as well as turning the Nintendo Switch controls into simple mode so that the LED turns off when it's not connected to Steam input. Aside from that, it's a bunch of bug fixes and some compatibility fixes. And the update on June 8th is also bug fixes. It has a fix for the gyro controls once again, as well as some improvements to the interface and overlay. And that's all I've got for the Steam Deck this week. Let's move on to AOKZOE. This week for AOKZOE, the A1 Pro campaign has now officially come to an end. We saw 636 people back the project, and the latest word from AOKZOE is that they're planning on shipping the first batch on June 15th. If you were hoping to get the device but didn't quite make it in time, you can still purchase it, although you're not going to be getting the Indiegogo prices. During the campaign, the base model was going for $799 USD, and now it's been marked to $999 now that the campaign is over. So AOKZOE is going to be busy getting everything ready to go for that. They're going to be shipping out their devices, and then hopefully we're going to see the AOKZOE A2 campaign start. I'm personally invested in that one because that's one of the devices that I want to get. So hopefully they'll start that campaign soon and I can get my hands on the device, because we all know that I need another handheld device. I'm not addicted, you're addicted. What are you talking about? And that's the short and sweet update I have for you this week for AOKZOE. Let's move on to OneXPlayer, where we'll go over an option that's come up to get a hold of the China exclusive OneXPlayer 2 Pro that comes in purple. This week for OneXPlayer, it's going to be a quick one. I have a couple updates for you. So the controller connector for the OneXPlayer 2 is going to be shipping this month, so I'm looking forward to receiving that, trying it out, and I'll probably do a video to show you how it works. And I've talked about it in the last couple weeks, but there's the OneXPlayer 2 Pro. So far, we've only seen that purple Evangelion edition that we learned was a China exclusive. Or so we thought. So one of the OneXPlayer employees has been on Facebook and he's been checking to see what the interest is in the Evangelion edition and whether it makes sense to ship it out to a few people. So right now, most of the messaging is going through Facebook Messenger. So I was talking to him and seeing what kind of methods there are for contacting him, as I'm sure not all of you have a Facebook account. So he passed on his email where you can contact him if you're interested. So if you're interested in getting this Evangelion edition OneXPlayer 2, then send him an email, let him know. I think right now they're gauging interest, and if there's enough interest that they'll be able to get some units over here. As far as a regular method of getting the OneXPlayer 2 Pro, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's coming soon though. If they're already releasing them in China, that means they're going to be coming soon here. And because I mention it every week, I have no updates for the OneXFly. I'll keep you guys up to speed. And that's all I got for OneXPlayer this week. Let's move on to AYN. We have a few things to go over today for AYN. Thankfully, it's all good news this week. So the reviews are in for the AYN Loki Max, and from what we're seeing, it seems like the device is very well put together, it performs well, and has an amazing controller. Both Retro Game Corps and Takio Don have had a chance to take a look at the device, and they've had nothing but good things to say overall. It seems to be performing well. Taki ran Time Spy at 2 different wattages. He ran it at 38 watt and 15 watt. For 38 watts, we got a Time Spy score of 2918, and we got 2668 at 15 watt, which is a great score for 15 watts. As far as ergonomics and controls go, it seems that both of them had really good things to say in that department as well. Retro Game Corps compared the joysticks to an Xbox One and a PS5 controller. He said the range of motion actually felt a little larger than the Xbox One controller, and overall it felt smoother than both controls, so that's saying a lot. The only complaint that he had for it is that the thumbsticks are a little bit smooth feeling and that he wished that they were a little bit more grippy. And moving over to Taki's review, he said it was the most comfortable 6-inch handheld that he's ever used. So I'm not sure how many handhelds he's used that are at 6 inches, but I'm assuming it's a lot. So the device is great, but that's cool. What about shipping? So in regards to shipping, it seems that they've sent out the first 100 units, and some users have already reported receiving tracking numbers. So honestly, I'm just glad to see the device shipping. I'm glad that the backers are going to get their device now, and that maybe it was worth the wait because it seems like it turned out to be a great device. So do you have a Loki Max ordered, or did you have one and cancel it? Let's talk about it in the comments, or if you want, head over to the OKest Gamer Discord and let's chat there. One last thing, I'll leave a link in the video description as well as the pinned comment for both reviews from Takio Don as well as Retro Game Corps. And that's going to do it for AYN. Let's head over to AYANEO where we have tons of updates to go over. I've got a few things to go over today for AYANEO. So first of all, the AYANEO 2S and Geek 1S campaign is still live and still going, so check it out if you're interested in that device. The crazy thing about the campaign is that they've already started to ship, so we've seen 45 units of the Retro Power Edition go out and 2 units of the Pink Bee Duck already. Now these were the Neo 2S. We haven't heard much about the Geek 1S, so hopefully that one's coming soon as well. As usual, I'll leave a link in the video description, so check it out if you're interested. Speaking of the Neo 2S and the Geek 1S, I did miss something when I did my campaign overview. So it seems that there is a difference between the Geek 1S and the Neo 2S as far as the rocker and trigger sensitivity adjustments. So when I was talking about the master controller versus the Geek controller, that was what was missing. So it seems we can adjust it on the Neo 2S, but not on the Geek 1S as far as the sensitivity goes. This was described as a hardware limitation as far as what AYANEO has responded with. Moving over to the Neo 2, we got an update on the campaign page where AYANEO addresses the shell cracking that some have reported. They said after they looked into it that it was limited to a certain batch. We don't know which one, but in response, they're going to be sending out shells for people that have this issue, as well as extending the shell warranty to 2 years instead of the normal 1 year. Thankfully, I haven't had any cracking happen on mine, but for those that have, I hope that they're able to find a good solution here. So while we're on the topic of the Neo 2, so for those that are going to be upgrading your Neo 2 to the 2S through the board upgrade program, we still haven't gotten a price, but we got a little bit of a hint that it may be more expensive than we realized. In the server, Arthur had mentioned that the price of the motherboard may not suit everyone's needs, and perhaps it wasn't cost effective. So his personal recommendation was to sell the old product and purchase a new one. So although it doesn't give us a price, it does say that it may be more expensive than we had originally hoped. But this is something that I'll be watching because I'm interested, so I'll let you guys know when I hear more information. One last thing for the upgrade kit is we're not sure if we're going to get the 64 gigs of RAM option. When asked, they said that they still have to consider it. And moving over to the Air Plus series, we saw a comment in the Discord that the 7840U Air Plus is going to be coming in 2 to 3 months. This wasn't clear if this is a new campaign or if this is those that had ordered and decided to go with the upgraded route, or if they're just going to change what they have in the current campaign and make it available to purchase in the store. We'll just have to wait for more information on that one. An update on the Mendocino Air Plus is that they're still waiting for the PCBA, so we don't really have a timeline yet. Hopefully it'll be coming soon. And that's all I've got for AYANEO, so let's move on to GPD. We've got a few things to go over today for GPD. So my review unit Win 4 that I've been talking about for the last couple weeks finally came in. So I had a chance to take a look at it and do a review. It's my first handheld review, so check it out. I'll link it below in the video description. But also for those that are in the market for a Win 4, I'll leave a link in the video description and the pinned comment where you can use a coupon to get the device for $7.99 USD. Moving on, GPD has continued to sell the WinMax 2 7840 and 7640 refresh. And I had a friend share a video from a couple weeks ago that I missed that compares the 7840U, 7640U, and the 6800U. This was done by GPD, so you could check out that video. I've done some random screen grabs just to give you a rough idea. So they tested 3 games. There was Sekiro, God of War, and Elden Ring. For Sekiro, the settings were 24 watt, 1080p low settings. And in the random screenshot I grabbed, the 7840U is at 58 FPS, the 7640 was at 53, and the 6800 was at 47. Next was Elden Ring. They had it at 24 watts, low settings, 1080p. The 7840U was at 51 FPS, the 7640U at 45, and the 6800U at 42 FPS. The last one was God of War, so that one they did something a little strange. They had the 7840U and the 7640U at 22 watts, and they had the 6800 at 18 watts. Not really sure why it wasn't the same settings across the board, but the results were 34 FPS on the 7840U, 33 FPS on the 7640U, and 28 FPS on the 6800. So check out that video if you want to see more. We haven't really seen much 7640U performance. We got another bit of news for the G1 campaign that's apparently going to be starting this month, and the exciting thing about the campaign is that after the campaign, the GPD Mini is going to be launching. We don't have a timeline, we just know that it's going to be after the G1. So that's going to wrap it up for GPD this week. That's also the end of our weekly recap, so I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.